I'm sure the next name you're about to hear, you must have heard about him. This might not be your first encounter with him, but he's a seasoned cybersecurity evangelist. He's passionate about what he does, and he'll be taking us through the topic, The Future is Now, Emerging Technologies and Their Impact on Cybersecurity Job. I know the first thing that comes to your mind already is AI and machine learning. So please open up your mind. You'll be hearing, I tell you, this speaker is diverse. He comes with a totally different perspective. Prepare your mind to gain deeper knowledge about this particular topic. He has been mentoring cybersecurity engineers for over 12 years. So he has over 12 years of experience under his belt. He's been in tech for 18 years. He has worked in various technical capacity with ISP, VAR, VAD, OEM across the EMI region, providing cybersecurity solutions and services to organizations. In the process, sharing his vast experience with customers and partners alike. He's a graduate of computer science and has a background in coding and Cisco networking. He's a cybersecurity evangelist, often warning organizations and individuals about data privacy and overexposure of personal information on the internet. When not working, he enjoys ghostwriting and watching documentary on history, nature, and science. Receive with me Chris Tola to take this next section.
So we talked about emerging technologies and how it impacts what is cybersecurity. So once again, my name is Mustola. I've been around for quite a while. She already said so much, so I don't have to put on this again. All right. And it's a very interesting background picture. This is what people think about when we talk about cybersecurity. A couple of guys, they're watching the screen and doing stuff. But usually more than that, modern cybersecurity personnel has various roles that doesn't necessitate them sitting around like with a computer. Some of them do something more highly up than not necessarily hackers. They're on like wits. All right. So when it comes to cybersecurity, the most important thing is interests. Are you really interested? Do you have an interest in protecting an organization? Do you have interest in educating people about what's going on about attackers, hacker actions? This is very, very important. And according to the IC2F World Economic Forum, there is a shortage of about 3.4 million jobs in cybersecurity. That means there are several roles and reasons in the field. So if we're taking a switch from, currently of a legal cybersecurity, for example, there's so many jobs out there with employee. And also, it's very important to be hands-on when it comes to cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is not just something in theory, it's something that you need to practice through regularly. It purposely need to be worked with AI in this page because everybody knows that AI will definitely come up. But then I'm going to talk about something that I would interest about the laws. When it comes to artificial intelligence is mostly machines that have been programmed to work in a certain way. They can learn is all machine learning. They can play like human game. They can try to simulate what's not being done to. But when it comes to decision making, when it comes to creativity, when it comes to looking at things from the wider perspective, AI is kind of narrow-minded herd in. So I would say overhyped, but it's not exactly what we think it is. There's still a long way to go. We still got human beings. So this 3.4 million jobs that are available, AI can fill some of those tasks, but not necessarily the roles. So you need human beings that are sharing those to really work together to achieve coverage for those roles that currently exist.
So what's currently happening in the cybersecurity world? You've already seen that from the previous speaker as well. We have a huge skills deficit. We have several cybersecurity roles. If you go to linkedin.com/jobs, you will find several cybersecurity roles and not enough people to fill them. That's the problem right now. In Nigeria, it's even worse with the jackpot syndrome, where people leave in droves to countries like Canada, like the US, the UK, and many countries in Europe and Australia as well. So they take the best people in Africa and then we have to now retrain and train the existing people. So what that means is people need to start thinking about cybersecurity as an option, because the next factor, which is automation, is a major threat, even a much bigger threat than artificial intelligence, which is automation. Automation means basically trying to make tasks that humans generally do, making them easier. So when it comes to automation, you would mostly automate stuff that are done, how do I put it now, repeatedly, repetitive tasks, routine tasks. Those are things that you can easily automate. So that makes it easier, because when human beings do something repeatedly, it leads to what we call fatigue. And when there's fatigue in cybersecurity, it's really risky, because when there's noise fatigue, for example, defenders will miss important signals that would lead to a major attack. And that's why automation has come in to make it easier for those things to work. So with automation now, we can now bring in many solutions into one umbrella so that they can talk to one another, and we can automate response, especially to help to reduce the time it takes to identify what attackers are doing and remove them from the entire network. So automation is a major factor that is changing the cybersecurity world. And then, of course, if you add artificial intelligence to automation, you get the best of both worlds, really. You get the best of both worlds, right? So it's very important to think about artificial intelligence as a skill that needs to be added, because it's also changing the cybersecurity landscape today. So how is artificial intelligence improving cybersecurity? In so many ways. Number one is that we need to see artificial intelligence as a partner, as a collaborator, and not necessarily replacing us or taking our jobs. So AI should not be seen as a competitor. There are many statements out there, and they're true, that someone using artificial intelligence will replace someone who is not using artificial intelligence. So you have to learn to adapt to the changes, the dynamic nature of cybersecurity across the world, and Nigeria is not an exception. Also, in the area of threat detection, we're seeing artificial intelligence helping a lot with that, because it's mostly repetitive. It's a lot of noise. We're talking about, for those that work in security operations centers, we're talking about thousands of detections every hour. Right, it's something that human beings are not really made for. They will miss important signals. So artificial intelligence is really helping to come in there and help us to look at those detections, prioritize them, assign severity scores to them, severity levels to them, so you know which ones are low, medium, high, or critical. And that would help you to manage your time properly to go after the high priority ones. Right. So AI is also helping us in the areas of threat intelligence, can connect multiple threats labs together so that they can derive intelligence from them. And in real time, if you're working in a SOC, for example, AI can help to check intelligence on a particular URL or domain. If it's malicious, if it's developing, it will give you the insight that you need to make the decision that you need to make. And also in the area of prevention, the earlier speaker talked about that, Wale talked about that. AI is also helping the controls. So if you're forcing the cybersecurity framework, AI is there to also help to augment your prevention and protection mechanisms. When it comes to real-time monitoring as well, AI is also right in the thick of it, because artificial intelligence models are very, very fast. When it comes to machine learning especially, they've learned over millions or billions of samples even, so they can identify, for example, malicious files within 20 milliseconds. That's how fast they are. So they're very good when it comes to real-time monitoring, and can also help you to prioritize your response activities. In areas of behavioral analysis, AI also excels, because AI can, based on the training, also analyze and detect unusual behaviors. So those kind of behaviors, for example, if an administrator wakes up at 3 a.m. and starts creating new admin accounts, or starts writing registry keys, or starts putting processes in scheduled tasks, AI knows that this is an anomaly. It's an unusual behavior for an admin or for a senior person to do that at that time, maybe on a Saturday night, and can flag it to the defenders to take a look at it. AI can also help with case summarization. AI helps with predictive analysis. This is very important as well. you want to predict the next steps based on what you're seeing right now. So you can be 2-3 steps ahead of the attackers. When you see a particular pattern, you know what's coming up next because you've seen this several times using the machine learning model. So this really helps defenders to predict what the attackers are going to do. Also, we have deception technologies that are augmented by artificial intelligence. She mentioned honeypot, for example, is one of them. So AI can also help us to throw the attackers off balance. So there are other applications of artificial intelligence in cybersecurity. One of them has to do with data security. AI helps to classify data because it can identify what kind of data this is. You can see bank account or medical record or social security number, and then know that this is personal data that should be protected. So if it's not encrypted, you can flag it to the administrators. So classification is very, very important, and AI helps us to achieve that easily. So there are several ways that AI is helping cybersecurity, and that is also making work easier for us who defend organizations. In the light of that, if you have been looking at LinkedIn jobs, for example, or you've been looking at AI jobs, you would notice the particular trend. There are certain skills that employers seem to be looking for when it comes to artificial intelligence. One of them is that they need you to understand how to use programming languages, scripting. We were talking about Python, for example. You need to be able to use APIs, that's programming interfaces. So if you're able to write scripts with Node.js or React or REST, for example, you're going to be valuable to such an organization looking for those skills. So you need to be able to understand programming languages and also scripting. And you need to use artificial intelligence if required to help you augment that. Another skill employers are looking for is experience in intrusion and threat prevention. So this is something that you can learn on your own. You can learn online, or you can even learn from specific OEMs or manufacturers who make this product. Some of them make their trainings free. So you should endeavor to learn some of these technologies because putting them on your CV puts you in a better position to get an interview or a job. Employers are also looking for people who have experience in risk identification and also risk management. So you need to look out for that as well. They're also looking for people who are experienced in information security and assurance. They're looking for general security operations, SOC analysts, threat analysts. They're looking for people skilled in GRC, people that understand cybersecurity frameworks like the NIST, for example, which Boali mentioned earlier. It's very important to understand the cybersecurity frameworks, the layouts, the guidance for what should be done, the controls you need to put in place for you to have modern cybersecurity. Most importantly, employers want to work with someone that they can communicate with, that can communicate with them, that can look at the report and communicate as a human being, not as a machine, to the management or to their managers. And they need people that can think on their feet, especially if you're a pen tester, for example. You have to be very, very creative. You have to have critical thinking skills. These are some of the things that employers are looking for. These are things that you gain, through experience, through learning, and through internship. In terms of job openings, like I said, you could go to linkedin.com/jobs or just go to linkedin.com, search for cybersecurity, choose jobs. You would see a lot of jobs in Nigeria, in West Africa opening up. Then read the description, read what the employers are looking for. That would give you an idea of this kind of skills you need to learn to be applicable to cybersecurity in modern times. So one of them is cloud security engineer. They're looking for cloud security engineers. Boali mentioned that digital transformation has made a lot of people go to the cloud. So AWS, for example, Azure, you see a lot of certifications from these organizations, some of them even free, which you should be taking. They're looking for pen testers, people who have experience in pen testing. So having a certification, I'll talk about certification later, does not necessarily mean that you actually know what you're doing. So they need to see that you have an experience in doing this. They also need DevSecOps, not just DevOps, right? So they need security engineers who can work with application teams, monitor CI/CD pipelines, ensure that you're not vulnerable to attacks, and also ensure that you maintain compliance even in the cloud. So if you're auto-scaling, you should not be in breach of compliance for any reason. Employers also specifically ask for soft skills. Soft skills range from communication, ability to work with a team, ability to work remotely or face to face. So some of these soft skills are learned also by experience or by internship, which you should have, and you should put that on your CV as well. Employers seem to prefer hands-on experience over certification or education. Although in Nigeria we still see a lot of job openings asking for BSc in computer science, but that is going to change. From my experience, I'm seeing that what you studied in school doesn't really matter. So you could study Yoruba in school and be a great cybersecurity expert. It doesn't really matter. So employers are beginning to see that hands-on experience is much better than you just having a certification. It's good to have a certification, but you should be able to defend the certificates that you have. So it's more important for you to have that experience. So go through the training, even if you're not writing the exam, go through the training, prepare your own lab, and then put it on your CV, the task that you've carried out regarding that certification. So it's very important. So don't say you don't have money to write the certification. Take the courses. Most of the courses are free. Take the courses and, set up your own lab. Setting up a lab is very easy if you're in a community, if you have mentors that can help you. At CyberPoint has several community forums and groups where people come to share ideas. People can help you to set up your lab. Once you set up these labs, you can do those tasks and you can put them on your CV that you have done those tasks, even if you don't have the certificate. So it's very important to have hands-on experience. Hands-on experience can also come from you volunteering. I'll talk about that later. There are several ways to get experience. So don't wait because you just written an exam and start waiting for a job. No, you need that experience, because without that experience, you probably would not get that interview you're looking for. Employers are also looking for white hat hackers, mostly for penetration testing. These are hackers who understand ethics, who are ethical in terms of in the way they approach pen testing. They don't do it to attack organizations and make money from them. They do it to show organizations their vulnerability and advise them, recommend how to fix it. So these are some of the skills that the employers are also looking for. We're now seeing employers specifically looking for artificial intelligence skills. So AI itself needs security, right? So security of the artificial intelligence models or solutions themselves are required. So they need AI security specialists. They need ethical artificial intelligence personnel, so like those in legal or those in advisory. And also they need artificial intelligence system auditors as well. So you're seeing new cybersecurity roles specifically mentioning artificial intelligence. That means you as a cybersecurity personnel or someone who aspires to move into cybersecurity need to start taking artificial intelligence seriously. So you want to take courses like machine learning. Those courses will help you to be more relevant in this job roles. So this is some of the trends that we've seen. So if you go to linkedin.com/jobs, you can see a lot more requirements that are coming out on a daily basis, and that would help you to channel your studies in the right direction. So you want to make a switch to cybersecurity, you're welcome. Anybody can switch to cybersecurity, even if you're 60 years old. You want to move to cybersecurity, this is the time. There's no better time to switch. Now that AI is still, kind of sweet for everyone. So if you want to switch, one of the easiest way to do this is to look within your organization. We said there are about 3.4 million cybersecurity jobs, open, and no one is filling them that fast. So the easiest way for you to fill them is to look inwards. So your company will be needing cybersecurity personnel soon. So if you're in accounting or you're in HR, start going to the IT department, go to cybersecurity department, sit with them, see what they are doing, express interest, let them mentor you, let them tell you what to do, start taking these online courses, go to them when you have questions. Because when those roles come up, a lot of time, even in the forum, I've seen Bawali and a couple of other guys, ask for network security engineers. Right. So most of these jobs don't even get to LinkedIn. They're internal openings where only people within the community know about it. It doesn't even get online. So if you don't put yourself out there, people will not think about you when such roles open. So within your organization, they already know you, and then a cybersecurity role comes up. It will be easier for you to switch because you're already within the system. They already trust you. So your interview will be very, very smooth. Probably won't even need an interview if they already know your capabilities, right? So start within your own organization. Don't look outside. Start from there first and then move on from there. The next one is to volunteer. It's very important. If you want to switch to cybersecurity, you may have to volunteer because you don't have the pedigree yet. Nobody trusts you. Nobody knows what you can do. So if you have the skills, try to volunteer, and that would also help to ignite your interest in cybersecurity, because it's very important to be interested in what you want to do. The next thing is to learn. You have to learn. There are several resources on YouTube, on Spotify, on LinkedIn. Generally, over the internet, there's several free courses. I see people posting links all the time, CBT nuggets and the rest that you can learn from. So choose a particular path that you would like from I'm going to talk about certification later, but you need to learn. And after learning, you need to train. You need to train yourself. You need to go through training if you have to. There's some paid trainings as well, or you could have someone train you if you want to. After the training, you then need to practice regularly. I mentioned earlier, you need to set up your own lab. Setting up a lab, you would need to have a laptop that's fast enough to run VMs if required. Not necessarily VMs. Some of these tasks are in the cloud. So there are stuff like capture the flag that you can undertake on the cloud, right? So you need to have a computer that has good internet that can allow you to practice this task. And then once you practice them successfully, you can then update your resume or your LinkedIn profile that you have the skills, right? So once you made any improvement in cybersecurity, you need to update your skills. People need to know that you now have those skills and you can defend them. You also need to grab artificial intelligence skills. So courses around data science, data analytics, algorithms building, and generally artificial intelligence-based cybersecurity tools, you need to start learning to use them. Some of them are proprietary, so you may need to sign up with an OEM or even sign up through a partner. So in many cases, some of these trainings are free for partners of those organizations. So you may need to partner with those organizations or volunteer to work there so you can have access to the free training materials. You need to get this exposure any way possible. It will not come to you, so you have to go out and get it. All right. And whatever you've learned, you need to flaunt it on the internet. That's the way it works. People need to know that you can do this. They would not come to you and ask you, can you do this? They need to see that you have done this and you have the capability to do it. So keep doing it. And most importantly, last but not the least, is certifications. Right. So there are several people trying to switch to cybersecurity. And what differentiates you mostly is the certificates that you have. Because there's no way to start asking you, do you have this capabilities? The certification already summarizes what you are supposed to know how to do. So certifications can get you interviews, but the hands-on experience would help you to land the role. So that's very important. So don't just get certificates and pack them and wait for interviews to come. No, make sure every certification you have, you can actually defend it. So what's the career path to cybersecurity? There are several certifications. I already mentioned that you need to have an interest. You need to have someone mentor you. Start from your organization if possible. You also need to have the right environment for you to train, to practice, and also update your skills. And then the certification part now. The common one is the certified cybersecurity. This is from ISC2. This introduces you to cybersecurity, as it were, all the most important domains for you to learn, to be familiar with the basic concept, the fundamentals of cybersecurity. From there, you can then branch off into whatever you want to do. If you want to focus on GRC, internal auditing, if you want to work in a SOC, you can then branch off. Security Plus is one of the most respected cybersecurity certifications, entry-level certifications that you can have. So some of the job roles I've seen also ask for Security Plus. And if you want to be an ethical hacker, you want to be a white hat, hacker, you want to do pen testing and stuff, you can start with offensive security certifications, including certified ethical hacker, which is very, very popular. I've also put down a link here, cybersec.org. You can go to cybersec.org. I think I grabbed some screenshots here. So you can go to cybersec.org. You would see the various roles available in cybersecurity, the entry-level roles, the mid-level roles, the advanced-level roles. It's an interactive page. If you go through that link, when you put your mouse on any of these entry-level roles or mid-level roles, it will show you the pathway. If you have certain certifications, this is the path you will be able to take, and this is where it will lead you to, right? So you can see them. So go to that URL, cybersec.org, and click on pathway or certifications. You would then be able to interact with this graphics. It would show you your path, the path you can end up, from the entry level to the advanced level. So most people want to become a CISO. That's the overall cybersecurity boss in an organization, right? Most people want to become a CISO. So there are several paths you can take to becoming the CISO as well. So this is a real screenshot I took earlier, was it yesterday or today? There were several jobs posted on LinkedIn for cybersecurity, even in Nigeria. So I clicked on some of those open roles. Most of them are level 2 roles, not beginner roles, sorry, but sometimes beginner roles also come up, right? So you can see the education, experience, and skills that they require, right? So they're asking for 4 years experience in cybersecurity for this particular level, which is difficult to come by, right? So you have to train yourself, update your skills, and show that you have that experience over time. So these are some of the things that they asked for. I think I grabbed a copy of that and put somewhere here. Yes. So if you look at this one here, the bottom right corner, you would see CASP plus, CH, GCIA, CISA, CISSP, some of the situations that they requested for those open roles. So they're always going to be. So to recap, it's very important to be interested in cybersecurity. So interest is the most important thing. If you're not interested, you may not succeed. So what is driving your interest? Is it money? Is it the fact that you want to protect people? You need to be interested in cybersecurity. So you should put yourself out there, join webinars, join cybersecurity roadshows, join events of cybersecurity to update yourself, to know what exactly is going on and how fast things are changing, because of course, the elephant in the room is always going to be artificial intelligence. There are always going to be concerns about is AI going to replace us? Is it going to take our jobs? Like I said, AI is far from doing that for now. The AI that we have out here is mostly just hype. To be honest with you, when it comes to cybersecurity, except in the areas of routine tasks or repetitive tasks being automated, we are not really getting as much value. In the areas of detection, yes, we are, but when it comes to decision making, AI is still not very reliable. To give you an example, I came very late for this event because I trusted Google Maps. That's an application that uses artificial intelligence. Google Maps tells me, oh, take this route, you'll be there in about 33 minutes. And it says there's about 5 minutes delay somewhere. And then you go into that route, and then that 5 minute delay turns to 1 hour. That's one of the failures of artificial intelligence. It has done its job based on what it has learned, but then human beings understand nuance better. Human beings are more creative. Human beings have the larger picture, but AI is kind of like narrow-minded. So AI is still far from replacing cybersecurity roles, but they're able to automate the tasks. Some of those tasks, roles are made up of tasks, right? So if AI is automating some of those tasks, that means your workload will reduce. You can then focus on more complex tasks. You can focus on strategic initiatives of the organization rather than just chasing after the routine stuff, which AI and automation will do for you. So AI is also going to be very important. So the 3.4 million jobs out there, they're going to be augmented by a combination of cybersecurity skills that you have and your use of AI tools. So if you want to be relevant, you must start using AI tools. You must start learning to build artificial intelligence. Start using generative AI tools like ChatGPT to help you with coding or scripting, as it were. Then finally, it's very important to be hands-on. Hands-on is more important than just certificates. So don't just go after certificates because you want to get a job role. Get hands-on experience. The interviewers know, because cybersecurity is a very practical role, right? It's filled with practical roles, so it's not something you can talk your way through. You need to show that you actually have the experience, all the skills to be able to survive. And also, soft skills are very important. The ability to communicate, the ability to interpret, the ability to think on your feet, also very important for cybersecurity, right? So the barrier for entry is now quite low. You don't have to be a techie to become a cybersecurity personnel, right? So there are several roles like showed you. If you want to go into audit, you want to go into vulnerability, management. If you want to join the GRC team, if you want to join the ethics team. So there are several roles for everyone that wants to move to cybersecurity. It's not just the technical roles. So feel free to join. Feel free to take the training, pay the price, get a mentor, put yourself out there, update your CV, volunteer if you have to get the relevant skills, and I believe that you will be successful. Then don't forget to follow the group on YouTube, on social media, and also on LinkedIn as well. Ensure that you capture everything that we're doing, participate in the forums when people ask questions, help them with the answers, And like I said, a lot of jobs come up on these groups that are not posted anywhere online, because those jobs require you to know who you're giving the jobs to. And when you put yourself out there, people begin to know you. So it's very important for you to be active and to be visible in the cybersecurity world. I think that'll be all from me. Thank you.